All right, this should be a pretty good one. This is the intro video for 19 acres here in the heart of the Ozarks, very close to the Rocky Creek Conservation Area and the Jacks Fork River within the Ozark National Scenic Riverways. So as we look toward the middle of the screen, the 19 acres is outlined in red. It's actually three separate tracts, a 5-acre, a 6-acre, and an 8-acre tract. So together we've got 19 acres, all contiguous. Within about a quarter-mile to the east is the conservation area, several thousand acres of additional land for hunting and recreation. So, I mean, with 19 acres, you're likely to do really well right on your own property as far as hunting and recreation and all that good stuff. But if you're with a big group of guys or girls or whatnot and you want to explore some other areas or split up, the conservation area gives you a good opportunity to do that. Looking to the west, about half a mile, we've got the Jacks Fork River shown here as a river. We've got Chalk Bluff, which is a beautiful overlook over the Jacks Fork River, but it's a sheer drop. It's a bluff, so if you have kids, don't let them go too close to it. I mean, this is a natural, wild and woolly area, so there are no guardrails or anything, but it is super pretty, unless you're terrified of it like me and can't get within about 30 feet of it. But even from 30 feet back, it's really nice. Amazing view. And the purple area is a small part of the Ozark National Scenic Riverways, which was some kind of federal easement done decades ago to keep a small number of particular rivers basically completely natural and to give the public access to the river. So the Jacks Fork River, the Current River, and I believe the 11-Point River have that national scenic easement, which is pretty awesome. But anyway, looking at the property here. Okay, I'm going to center this and we'll zoom in a little bit. So I'm using the MapRight program, which is an interactive map that we have. If you get the app on your phone or your tablet, MapRight, we can have them send you the link for this map. You'll get an email from MapRight. Open the email on your phone. It'll ask you if you want to open the map within the app, to which you'll say yes. And then this will pop open on your phone, and there'll be a little blue dot to indicate exactly where you are. So where this little hand is, would be a blue or a red dot. So as you're driving here, you'll know which roads to take, which roads not to take. And then when you get to the property, you'll know exactly where you are, even walking around the property. So that's fantastic. But let's zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so first of all, so MapRight uses different base maps. This is a Google map as a base map. And this particular map is a couple years old. And so what I want to point out is, I mean, it shows the area well, it shows the property, but as far as the timber situation, it's pretty much the opposite of what this looks like. So that is meaning that this is showing big timber on the middle and the south tract and recent logging on the north tract. In reality, since this is a couple years old, since then, the middle and the south tract have been heavily logged, and this north tract, which was logged but not heavily, has grown back and looks quite a bit better than is referenced here. So whereas on this map, when it looks like the middle and the south have timber and the north doesn't, it's the opposite. The north has pretty decent timber. The middle and the south were heavily logged very recently. And you'll see that on the drone video. The drone video is extremely recent, as well as the photos and whatnot in the listing. And so going into the first winter after these were logged, they looked pretty bleak. And this one looks fine. I mean, like I said, it was logged, but not heavily like these two, and it was a few years ago, so it's already starting to grow back and look pretty good. And the remaining trees are thriving without the competition from the big commercial hardwoods. Okay, so as we look at this, let's flip over to Topo Map. That is so helpful on a deal like this. So you can see the easement roads. The yellow lines are the easement roads. We've got some other dotted lines, but those are just old trails. They're not easement roads. But this yellow line is the easement road. You can see the three tracts. It's tract 34 on the south, 35 in the middle, and 36 on the north. 5 acres, 6 acres, and 8 acres on the north, giving you 19 acres. Now, the cool thing is the topography on each one of these tracts is actually really good. So you've got a large level area by the road on all three tracts, and then it slopes down very gently as you go back. I mean, look to the left here, and this is more typical of the Ozarks, and specifically this area is some really steep areas. On these properties, that's just not the case. I mean, it does slope down, but it appears to all be usable. I mean, I don't see anything that I would consider steep, I guess, other than the very southeast portion of this particular track 34. That indicates that that's pretty steep right there. But this is a nice ridge. This slopes down gently. You're basically level. This whole north side on the road is basically level and slopes down gently. This indicates a little valley going through here, a gradual valley. So a possibility for, if you wanted a large pond or a lake, potentially putting a dam somewhere around here in the valley and backing up quite a bit of water. So I mean, really, really good topography. And let's switch back to, yeah, let's do that. So as you look at the drone video, and I believe the drone video we have, because we only had one, I believe that is actually a drone of track 34. So we launch over here by the road, and you'll see all this stuff that has big timber on the aerial that was heavily logged, and you'll see that in the drone video. But then as we pan to the north, you'll see some good timber here, and that's going to be that track 36, that 8 acres. So I mean, this gives you a lot of good options. If you want to build or have your campsite within the good timber, you've got that option. If you want to clear some area for pasture, you've got that option as well. And this, with basically no steep areas here, I mean, this could all be usable pasture, which is great. So I mean, it gives you, like I said, different options, and we're all about different options. I think that's one of the best things to have in life is to have a few different alternatives. So that's a great thing about that tract, about the 19 acres in total. So let's zoom out a little bit here, and we'll show you the route to the property. Go back up a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's pretty good. Other than we can barely see the tract with all those words there. But we'll go back one more. Okay, so in the upper right, we've got the town of Eminence, county seat for Shannon County. Kind of a tourist town. It just gets, it's hopping in the summertime when people are on the Jacks Fork River, and they have miles of trail rides, horse rides. I guess someone builds them. They might build themselves as the trail ride capital of the U.S., but you can check out Eminence. To get to the property from Eminence, you just go west on 106 for about 3 miles or so. You'll go south on Highway E for about 1 mile, and then you're going to go west on County Road 412. Let's zoom in here. So west on 106, south on E, west on 412, and now you're going to take 412 westerly toward the property. There's a lot of gravel. There's about 6 miles of gravel to get to this property. So very, very private. It is off-grid. The closest power is probably, I mean, 3-4 miles away. So I mean, it's off-grid. Where was I? Okay, lost my train of thought. So take 412. Once you enter the conservation area, 412 basically becomes a forest road. So it's a little more narrow. You have to go a little more slowly. And there are many little offshoots and trails coming off this, but you kind of want to stay on the main forest road here. Keep heading westerly, and then you'll enter the Chalk Bluff area. You'll start to see the signs that say tract, 3, 4, 5, whatever. As you come into the Chalk Bluff area, there's immediately a trail that goes to the south. You don't want that. Stay on the main easement road. And then after about half a mile, well, before that, you'll see the property on the left. But after about half a mile, if you take a left on that easement road, then you'll see the property as well. So definitely print out the maps and whatnot, because it can be confusing. It can be very confusing, especially on your first trip. Okay, so as we zip out a little bit more here, we've got the town of Eminence. Now on the map program right now, I've got the layer turned on for public land, so it's showing that in these different colors. The purple is the Ozark National Scenic Riverway. So this is the section that encompasses the Jacks Fork River. This up here to the upper right is, I believe, the current river. Pretty sure anyway. The light blue areas are state conservation land, so the Rocky Creek Conservation Area, some different stuff. And then the light green areas are the Mark Twain National Forest. The Ozarks is known for huge tracts of national forest. So I mean, you have hundreds of thousands of acres of land within just a few miles that you can explore and use. And as we back way out here, there we go, that's pretty good. On the left, you've got Springfield, Missouri, the largest city in southern Missouri. It's where our office is located. If we were headed to the property, we would take Highway 60 to the east. You'll pass Mountain View. You'll get to the little town of Birch Tree. Basically, you go east about an hour and a half from Springfield, and then you would go north on Highway E for about 10 or 12 miles and hang a left or go west on County Road 412 and proceed to the property. So I think that shows it pretty well. I mean, it's a nice big tract. You do have the three separate tracts, but I mean they all stand on their own. They're all nice tracts. They all have road frontage. They all have building sites. We were just excited to put them together and get a big tract on the website because we had a lot of people asking for that. So there you have it, 19 acres at Chalk Bluff. If you see it on the website, it's available. If it's not on the website, then unfortunately it's been sold already. But get a hold of us. We'll let you know what's coming up. Get on our newsletter. You can sign up in the upper right corner on our website at InstantAcres.com. And we look forward to speaking with you.